So the other day I made a video discussing the Disney princesses in the Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer and what the Disney princesses together could mean for the Disney franchise overall. I think it means big bucks because I could see many Disney princess crossover films to come. I think it's a fantastic idea. But what I didn't do is discuss how they looked in CGI versus how they looked in their original film. And we're going to go through the 14 films and look at all 14 characters because, Elsa and Anna do come from the same film. And essentially we'll discuss, the transition from 2D animation to CGI or, from CGI of the original to CGI of Wreck-It Ralph 2. Now, I'm going to go in order of the film's releases. I'm not going to do a rankings, but I do have preferences of which ones I think look really good, which ones I think look kind of meh, but not like horrible. And then there's ones that I think they need to work on really bad. And I talked about that in the video too. So we're going to start with the fairest of them all, the one that started it all, Snow White. And I have to say, I think Snow White actually translated over to CGI really, really well. As you can see in the stills that I have up, I have, in the original movie, I have her holding the apple before she bit it. And then I have her holding the poison apple from the trailer. But I really think that Snow White looks fantastic here. And that's really all I can say about it. I just think that they brought her over perfectly. Like, I just love the details of the CGI, from her dress. I think she just looks really good. And I don't really have too much more to say about that than other than I really think it was just translated really well. So what do you think about Snow White, 2D versus CGI? Now, Snow White, I believe, came out in 1939, which is wild. It came out in the 30s. I could be 37 or 39. I'm blanking on the date off the top of my head. But, to think that Snow White's popularity has lasted for so long. She's my least favorite Disney princess, but I think that, she was one of the few that had the best transition. Now, let's talk about Cinderella, who is in my top 5 favorite Disney princesses, but I think she looks the worst. She looks so bad. For one thing, her dress in the original film, and this has been a subject of controversy for a while with Cinderella, is it's silver. But when they made the Disney Princess franchise, they made it blue, probably because it's easier to make. Because normally the backgrounds that the princesses have, and the promotional art for the Disney Princess franchise is like a pastel-y color. So the silver would blend and she would look kind of meh. But, in the original film, her hair is strawberry blonde, and in Wreck-It Ralph, her hair is blonde. And she just doesn't look right to me. I really think that Cinderella was really messed up, which is a shame because I'm a huge fan of the character, very big fan of the film, and its sequels, surprisingly. And I really like the live-action Cinderella as well. And I really feel that they messed Cinderella up. So that one kind of hurt. Now let's look at Aurora. I think Aurora is one of the best that was translated over from 2D animation to CGI. I think she looks absolutely stunning. Now, one fun fact about Aurora, there's several fun facts about Aurora, but one is she's rarely in the film in the pink dress, but the pink is, what they choose to generally market her in. I was going to actually recolor the blue to pink, but I was like, I'll just leave it as it is. But I really think that she just translated over so well. I think her hair looks stunning. Her eyes are blue in Wreck-It Ralph, and in Sleep Beauty, her eyes are purple. But, there's like little differences that you're not going to, unfortunately, get. But I really think that she looks, of the original 3, the best translated over. Again, I think Snow White looks really good too, but I just think the detail to Aurora is absolutely stunning. I love all the designs, how they captured almost essentially all the designs from her dress and the tiara. Everything looks great. Like, her hair is also really, really fantastic. So Aurora looks really well done. Now, we're going to go from 1959 to 1989, which is The Little Mermaid. Now, Ariel in the trailer didn't get too much screen time, so I had to get like a kind of a goofy shot. I wasn't too big of a fan of the dress or of the shot. And I really hate the pink dress. In the film, Ariel has red hair, and, they put her in a pink dress. It clashes. I really think at least they got the shade correct in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad translation over. I just think it's kind of meh. I think if we got more of the Tangled CGI animation, I think Ariel will look a lot better. So I'm not really a gigantic fan of how Ariel looks, but I'm not hating on it like I hate on Cinderella. However, for a character that I do hate, but before I show the one I really hate the most, Ariel is my favorite Disney princess. But of the characters I really love, but absolutely hate how they looked in Wreck-It Ralph, is Belle. I mean, she just looks so cartoonish. She looks awful. Like, Saturday morning CGI, low budget. It's like, how did you go from this beautiful 1991 animation that's, she looks adult. I think Belle's 17 or 16. I'm pretty sure she's 17, but she's absolutely stunning in the traditional animation, and she looks absolutely horrendous here. Same like Cinderella. It's like, what? How on earth did they mess that up? Like, you have your original concept art and you have your actual cells. Why would you not translate that, over to CGI? You can do that. And just literally just take the Rapunzel or Elsa model and rework it to be Elsa, to be Belle or Ariel. Like, they could have made Belle so much better. So Belle and Cinderella, I really think, are the worst of the classic drawn princesses. Now let's talk about Princess Jasmine. She looks stunning. I think Jasmine translated over really, really well, and I love it. So the first three, I think the best translated was Aurora, and of the the Renaissance age for the first three, because obviously we have Milan and Pocahontas to look at as well, I think Jasmine translated over the best. I love how she has the lamp. I just love the little the details to her design. I just think Jasmine looks absolutely stunning. I think they got her her coloring perfect, and they added more to her costume. Like, she even has like a skirt at the bottom of her pants, and I really think she looks amazing. Now let's go on to Pocahontas, who also looks absolutely stunning. So the way they released the Disney films in the Renaissance age, it went The Little Mermaid, then there was The Rescuers Down Under, then there was Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King. There was no movie in 1993, and then there was The Lion King came out in 1994, I'm sorry, but then the Pocahontas came after The Lion King. And I think Pocahontas looks also stunning. So my point for listing off the movie dates was there was a gap between Jasmine and Pocahontas by like 2 years, 3 years, which is like the separation, because they were the Renaissance Part 2, while Ariel, Belle, and Jasmine were Renaissance Part 1. But I think that Pocahontas looks stunning here. Really well done. I love the details to her dress. I love how they have the tattoo. I love the necklace. I love how the necklace actually is coming off in the film. It looks like it's kind of stuck to her. So I think she looks absolutely stunning. Miko looks great. And the details to the dress, like, they did get the details so well, which again makes you think, how on earth could you have Belle and Cinderella look so bad, but you have Jasmine and Pocahontas look so good? Now, let's look at Mulan. And Mulan, I feel the same way that I feel about Ariel. I just don't think they put enough effort into it, but like, it wasn't sloppy. She, like, the eyebrows, the hair, everything looks fine. Like, I love the outfit. Like, they got the outfit downright perfect. But again, she's not popping, which is the problem. Like, you either have characters that are going to pop, like Aurora, or in a good way, or you're going to have, Belle pop out in a bad way. Mulan just kind of is flat. And it's really all I have to say. As you can tell from every one of these photos so far, I've done a shot of them in their original dress that they were translated into Wreck-It Ralph, so you can really get the impact of how they looked in 2D to CGI. Now, let's skip ahead from Mulan to Princess and the Frog, which came out in 2009. I know most of my Disney movie dates. I think Tiana looks stunning. I think she looks really, really good here. She's the last princess from 2D animation to CGI that we can really, harp on that, because then it's kind of discussing the differences in the CG. But I think that Tiana translated over really, really well. Now, Tiana started the revival age of the Disney films, but she was the last 2D film that Disney has, I believe, done, minus Winnie the Pooh. But for princesses, she's the last one. But I think that she looks stunning here. I think she really does, and that's all I can really say about Tiana. I don't know why anyone would complain. I think her hair looks great. I like how they have like the additional, there's like one extra curl that comes on the back. I mean, she looks almost the exact same. She looks beautiful. Now, let's talk about Rapunzel. I think Rapunzel, she sticks out. I mean, the trailer, she really sticks out because she's a big deal in the trailer. She talks the most. There's like little discrepancies in her design, which I don't understand. Like, if you look at the original, you can see that it's translucent, like the sleeves, but in the Wreck-It Ralph, it's white. I don't understand like those little differences, but I think that she looks really good. I think she translated over. I guess she got a downgrade because Wreck-It Ralph, it's a different form of animation. The Tangled animation was a combination of CG and hand-drawn, which is why the budget was so heavy or so high, because they had to do both. I believe Tangled is the most expensive animated film ever done. And I think that Rapunzel looks fantastic in the film. Again, it's a bit of a downgrade, but she looks really good in Wreck-It Ralph. No major complaints there. Now let's go on to Merida. Now Merida in the trailer, the poor thing, her face kept getting blocked. So I had to get a shot where, Snow White's collar is covering her face. I think that Merida actually, the downgrade, I'm going to call it, looks better. I hated the animation of Brave. I thought it was absolutely horrible. I thought the landscapes of Brave looked beautiful, but I hated how it looked for the characters. And I also don't like the movie at all. I couldn't stand the character of Merida. She's my second least favorite Disney princess, and I think that in Wreck-It Ralph she looks, it's like a smush of pictures, but from what I see, I think she looks more Disney princess and more like Disney proper, not Disney Pixar, obviously. But I'm a much bigger fan of Merida in Wreck-It Ralph than I am in her original film. Now let's go from Brave to Frozen, and we're going to talk about Anna. Honestly, I think Anna's super bland. It's essentially like Mulan and Ariel. They all seem to be grouped into three. The Golden, the Renaissance, and then the Revival. I think of the Revival era, Anna just kind of is flat. And that's interesting because Anna is, excuse me, a really big character in Frozen. Obviously, she's the lead, and she has a huge fan base. She sells major merch, almost as much as her sister. And she barely pops. She doesn't even talk in the trailer, which I thought was interesting. Maybe Kristen Bell hadn't recorded her lines yet. But I think that Anna just kind of is meh. She looks good. But, if you just even look at Anna to Rapunzel, I think Rapunzel looks more fun and more energetic. Poor Anna is kind of and that's really it. But, again, I think she, the downgrade didn't make her look bad. It just didn't make her pop. She just kind of sits in the back. So now let's look at Elsa. She's awesome. Elsa's my, of the CGI princesses, I have to group them. I have my favorite classic, which is Cinderella, my favorite Renaissance, which is Ariel, my favorite Revival, which is Elsa. I think Elsa looks stunning. Again, it's like a funky little downgrade, but it's a expected downgrade, and she just looks really good. Even the practical effects in her hand, or the visual effects in her hand, look absolutely stunning. Her I think it's a bodice, is glowing or shiny. It's beautiful. Her hair is fantastic. Everything translated over perfectly. And she's a snow queen. So I think Elsa, of the CGI princesses, looks the best. And we have one more to look at, which is Moana. Moana kind of reminded me of Anna, but I think since her movie was the most recent, they were like, all right, let's just shrink her model a little bit, because, they can just pull it from the corner and be like, all right, there you go. And I really think that she looks the exact same. You can see clear discrepancies from Merida or Elsa or Rapunzel from the original to the Wreck-It Ralph. But in Wreck-It Ralph, I really feel that Moana looks exactly the same, which is fantastic because Moana was known to be this distinctive Disney princess similar to Merida, and I like that she still maintains the distinctiveness. So anyway, that is how all 14 Disney princesses look from the original film to the Wreck-It Ralph trailer. Now, what did you guys think about this? I'm really curious what your thoughts are. Who's your favorite Disney princess? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this review, or this lineup, I guess would be the type of video, and we'll talk real soon. Alright guys, bye.